So you guys like my lucid dreaming stories that I've shared on this channel and you've asked for more, so today I'm sharing another lucid dreaming story, and that is the story of how I found a new technique on how to actually control my dreams. Hey guys, welcome back to Tipharot, it's me Matt here, and today I'm discussing another lucid dreaming story, a particular experience I had. And now this is an experience that happened quite some time ago. I'm not actually sure exactly when it happened, it's been some time ago. It was in the last couple of years. It was in last year in fact, but I'm not sure, which exact month and so on. So I don't know exactly how long ago it was, and bits of the dream have faded from memory. But I kind of want to focus on the important parts of the dream. So the dream started off with me finding myself in some field. And I was just in this field and something felt off. And once you've been lucid dreaming for a while, or sometimes even your first lucid dream, you'll find yourself inside a dream realizing that something is not quite right. And that kind of triggers this idea that, hey, I might be dreaming. So I'm there and I get this feeling that something's not right. And then it hit me, wait, where on earth am I and how did I get here? That doesn't make sense, I must be dreaming. I didn't even have to do a reality check or anything like that, I just kind of knew that I was dreaming at this point. And so I looked around the field and I noticed that everything was very, very clear and very, very kind of stable. And this was quite unusual for me at the time because most of my dreams are kind of blurry and unstable and so on until I actually made an effort to stabilize them. So here I was in this dream that was very, very stable, and I just kind of felt more in control than usual. And I looked around and I decided to try something. So I was walking through this field and it kind of did remind me of a place back in England. There were a couple of fields, well, there were loads of fields near my house in England. And there were a couple that I used to walk past that were near one of my old schools. And it kind of looked similar to that area in general. And I'm walking through kind of looking at this area. It was night time in the dream, it was like pitch black and everything, although I could see it was kind of lit up, sort of lit up, just vaguely, but it was quite dark. And so I start walking through the field and thinking, what can I do? And I thought, hey, this is really stable right now, so I want to do a bit of flying. Now, I kind of tend to try and remind myself to avoid flying usually too early in a dream, unless flying itself is my only goal. And that is for the simple reason that it tends to destabilise my dreams a bit. So if my dream isn't stable enough to begin with, then it's a bad idea to fly because it will just end the dream very, very quickly. So this is why I wanted to fly this time because, the dream seemed very, very stable, so I thought it would be quite fun. So I decided to fly. And I basically just imagined myself flying up off the ground, and sure enough it happened. And I was floating in the air, and I started flying over this field. And then I just thought of something. I thought, you know what? It would be good if I learned to properly land. You see, one of the things for me with flying in lucid dreams is that I could never really land. I could occasionally land, but it was more by accident than actually, me on purpose landing. Because when I wanted to land, I kind of couldn't control it. See, when I fly in lucid dreams, it's almost like, I don't know how to describe it, it's almost like I'm sliding around on ice or something like that. I can zoom in a direction, and even when I don't make any more effort to keep moving in that direction, I just keep going. I just keep going off in that direction. And so it's kind of a bit hard for me to control really precisely. If I'm just trying to fly to another location or whatever, it's great because I can just zoom off in that direction and whatever. But if I'm trying to land precisely in a particular spot or just go to a particular place and hover there or something like that, it is a bit harder for me to do. So I wasn't really able to land particularly easily. So I'm flying above this field and I just thought it would be nice if I could land quite easily. But how would I go about doing that when I don't have this proper control? It's not like moving around on the ground. It's kind of a bit alien the way that you fly in lucid dream. It's not something you're used to doing in your day-to-day life. So it is a bit hard to imagine what landing would be like when it's something that you've never done in the real world. And when I've landed in a lucid dream before, it's been kind of accidental, so it's not something that I felt what it was like to control, if that makes sense. And so I thought back to how I actually flew that time, and I did something unusual when I flew that time, is that I kind of just thought about flying. I kind of used my mind to make myself fly, rather than doing the things that I normally did, like doing the Superman pose and jumping in the air and so on. Normally it was a very physical thing, this time it was a mental thing, I was mentally controlling myself flying. So I thought, what if I do something similar to land? And so I kind of looked at the place in the ground, and I kind of thought I'm going to will myself there. But at the same time, I thought, I need to be specific about this, so I said in my head, I said the word land, and I looked at the ground, and I just zoomed to that spot on the ground and landed exactly on that spot, like instantly. And I was just like, wait, what happened? Was that really just that easy? And so I thought, okay, I'll try this again. And so I looked up in the air, and this time I said fly, and I shot up into the air, and I was flying above the field again. And so I flew across the field for a little bit longer, and I look at the spot on the ground, and I do land. And then I was just so excited with this that what I did was I was going around these two fields in kind of like a lap around them, and I would just fly up in the air, land, fly up in the air, land. So it was like doing these really, really big jumps almost, except I wasn't actually jumping, I was doing it with my mind. And so I'd say the word fly in my head, fly up, and I would say the word land in my head, land down, and so on. And like I would focus on the spot where I wanted to be each time. And it just felt so easy and natural compared to the ways that I've been flying before. So it changed aspects of dream control for me, because I learned that I could actually command my dreams, by saying a word in my head in the dream. And this actually was a kind of revelation for me, because some of you guys may know, with regards to stability in a dream, that there is a technique where you just ask the dream for stability, and you can say, the word stability, you can say stabilize, you can say clarity, whatever word that you want to use or whatever phrase that you want to use to get some kind of stability in the dream, you can do that. But I tried that method so many times and it never worked for me. And, giving some background on this was a time when stability wasn't quite a normal thing for me in lucid dreams, and so it was something that I really, really wanted. I wanted to have stable, normal dreams, but most of the stabilization techniques just didn't work that well for me. Like rubbing my hands together used to work when I was a beginner, but it doesn't really work that well now, and so on. And when I tried asking the dream for stability, that didn't work either. But then I thought, hey, what did I do in this dream with flying? I was actually saying the word in my head, just the word fly in my head. I wasn't saying it aloud like I was saying when I was asking for stability. So later on I actually ended up trying the same thing with stability, and I said the word in my head, and I found that actually worked. So for whatever reason, when I say things aloud in a lucid dream, it doesn't really take them as a command, but when I say them in my head, I just think the word, it seems to actually work. So that dream was very, very useful for me. It was a kind of lesson, and I love these kind of dreams because for me, lucid dreaming is about self-exploration. You can watch as many guides as you like on what to do, but you're going to find that certain things just naturally work better for you. And so you're going to find ways of doing things that are just different from everyone else's way of doing things. You're going to find that your way of, say, spawning a dream character might be completely different from mine and from all the ones that you read about on the internet. You might get it done first, say doing it the way that I do it. You might do it the way someone else tells you to do it first, and you might do it the first few times like that. But after you get some experience, you're going to find your own way of doing things. And these dreams come up a lot, dreams where you experiment, you try things out, and then you learn new techniques as a result. So the moral of the story of this actual experience here is just to experiment in your dreams, try out new things, because you're going to learn new dream control techniques like this. I hope you guys have enjoyed this little story, and I'm sorry that it wasn't any longer. It wasn't a particularly super long dream, but also it was kind of too vague and blurry for me to try and give too many specifics. I just wanted to kind of describe the overarching theme of the dream and what I learned from it. I hope you guys have enjoyed, and if you did, remember to subscribe up there for more. Also, check out my Patreon page. If you're interested in supporting the channel, then go there and find out about all the tiers and so on. Thank you guys for watching. Take care.